Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm so excited for this video because we're going to be playing with a new indie brand to me, and this would be Shine by SD Cosmetics, and they are a Canadian based indie brand. I did connect with them through my Instagram indie makeup spotlight. They asked if they could send me a package and I said yes, so I thought today we could go ahead and try some products out. So they did send 6 different shadows, which we have here, and they are all different like shimmer formulas. Some of them are multi-chrome, some of them are duochromes. This one has like a really interesting pattern, so I'm excited to swatch that one out because I haven't used it yet. So before we do swatches, I'll just mention the other products really quickly. So first is a lipstick, and the packaging on this is actually really cool. There is a little mirror, so you could use that to do your lipstick if you wanted to. And then what you do, it took me a minute to figure this out, is you pop down the bottom and then you can actually pull out the lipstick, and I think that's pretty cool packaging, especially for a small indie brand. So the color that I have here is called a Butterfly Effect, and it is a creme finish. It's a purple shade, obviously, so I'll swatch it for you, and you can see that it's actually pretty sheer. Dang, it looks pigmented there. Okay, well, on my lips, it was very sheer. I'll give it another chance, but from first impression, I didn't super love the formula. And then they also sent a lip gloss, which again, the packaging of this is pretty cute. So this is the shade Starlight Glow, and it's kind of like a bluey purple iridescent gloss. It's what I have on my lips. So here's a little swatch of that. As you can see, it's pretty sheer, but it just has a duochrome effect to it. And then there was also a Shine Luxe setting spray, and I was nervous about this from the moment I saw it. It actually came in the packaging a little bit leaky, like the bubble wrap that it came wrapped in was a little bit greasy. So this is the shade Crystals, and it says it's a setting spray and body glow. And for a setting spray, first off, it's just really aggressive for the face. I feel like it kind of is just like a lot at once, so I don't really love the spray. And then it also leaves chunks of like sparkle on the face. I don't know if you can see that, but I really don't like the way that this looks on the skin, so I won't be using it as a setting spray again. I'll try it as a body glow mist, but this was a little bit of a fail for me as well. And you know, I'm so appreciative of them sending me a PR package, letting me try their brand, but my subscribers are my priority, so I want to give my honest opinion, and how can anyone ever grow if I don't give my honest opinion? So now let's go ahead and do some swatches of these shades. So first we have the shade Dynamic Gold. This one looks really stunning in the pan, and I would say it has the potential to be a really beautiful shade. It has a very strong gold shift to it, and it's kind of sparkly and almost a little bit more like a topper. It feels pretty softly pressed, and it looks pretty. Oh, wow, that looks extra pretty. I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit flaky, but I feel like on my eyes today, I used this on my inner corner, and I just used it on its own. I didn't like use a glitter glue or spray my brush or anything, and I feel like it looks okay, but it doesn't look super popping as I would normally want my inner corner to be. So I think that in the future when I use this, I'll definitely spray my brush or use glitter glue just to kind of help all of that glow and glitter sparkliness stick a little bit better, because I think it has the potential to be really, really pretty. Next we have the shade Icy, and I have this shade popped on my lower lash line just a little bit. This is a really beautiful color. It's, again, kind of more softly pressed. The duochrome is really strong with this one. I think it might actually be considered a multi-chrome. Yes, it's a multi-chrome. And when I looked on their website, all their multi-chromes look to be like kind of like between $15 and $10, just to give you an estimate, because there's a few different types of formulas in here. This one is really, really pretty. Like, the shift is stunning. I love colors like this. This one is a little bit more hot pink than like Bunny, for example, which I don't know, I thought of right away because that's the new shade I got from Menage, which is more of like a baby pink. So I would say that they're definitely different, but this does have a really stunning shift to it. I again feel like in the future I would use this with a glitter glue or spray my brush to make it more intense, just because the formula is so soft. I feel like it needs something to stick to. Kind of reminds me of Marshmallow Pillows from Divina in the color, and also the formula a little bit. I feel like Divina's a bit more intense, but the softness of it and needing something to hold on to it reminds me of the Divina shadows as well, because I always use those with a glitter glue. Next is the shade Russet Red. This shadow came a little bit broken, but all I had to do was just press it back in the pan, and it smoothed back over, and it is extremely pigmented. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of like a deeper burgundy-esque red, but still has a little bit of a vibrancy to it. More of a satin, but again, super pigmented. Like, I was really impressed with this. I used it on the lower lash line, and I had to like blend even just the tiniest amount between both my eyes because it was so pigmented. So if you are looking for like a true satin deep red, it's a really, really pretty option. Next, we have another multi-chrome, and this one is the shade Chandelier. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's kind of a bluey green facing forward, and then it has a strong lavender shift to it. This is the shade that I have all over my lid today, and it is really pretty. I find it to be a little bit more powdery. It's kind of funny because feeling the texture, it feels powdery, but then when you look on my finger, it looks super metallic and soft. So it's kind of interesting because normally you can see it more if something's powdery, but it looks really, really nice. I had to use a glitter with glue with this, and I felt like I really had to build it up. So I wouldn't say this is my favorite multi-chrome formula. I thought it was pretty, but I have other shades like this from other brands at similar price points that I just prefer a little bit more. I mean, it's beautiful. I love the way it looks all over the lid, but I just felt like I really had to build it up and do a lot in order to get it to look opaque for me. But it is a really, really pretty shade. Next, we have the shade Gold Burst, which looks really cool. I didn't even know what to think of this shade. This one says that it is a duochrome. Oh, that looks very interesting mixed together. I don't know if I have any other shades like this. I think I'm gonna be a weirdo, and I'm just gonna kind of sit here and mix these together for a minute just to show you what the actual color ends up being. Okay, so here's the color that I got out of it. You can still kind of see that streak of green. It kind of ended up being like an olive tone. Don't really see a duochrome or a shift going through it, and maybe that's because I blended it so much. I mean, I think the finished color is really pretty. It's just if you went in with this, like actually getting the color that you want on both sides rather than actually going with more blue or more gold. And then we have a duochrome here, which is called What Now? Oh yeah, actually, okay, I can see the shift there. It's kind of like a warm base with like a silvery blue shift to it. I have quite a lot of colors like this. It makes me think of Makeup Geek because I have a few of these type of shades in their duochrome collection. So, I mean, it looks pretty, very high pigment. Haven't used that one yet on the eyes. So there are all the swatches of the shadows. I think they're pretty. I would say that I'm most impressed by Icy just because I really love the color of that, and I do want to give that a chance and use it with a glitter glue all over the lid because I'm just so into those type of tones. And then the shade Russet Red I just thought was super, super pigmented and such a pretty shade. It's not something I really would see using as like an all over lid shade because I go for something more sparkly and metallic, but I think that having its own moment all over the lash line would be super beautiful. It seemed to blend well for me. So those would be my two favorite products that I've tried thus far. So now let's go ahead and jump on into the demo. Alright, so jumping right on in, I already primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and before I go in with my regular shadows today, I'm going to first take the Warrior by Juvia's Place just to grab this shade, which is like really close to my skin tone, and I'm going to set my eye. Alright, so I wanted to go ahead and do another throwback. I feel like it's really fun as I'm going through and trying some new things to also pull out some things I already love. And all the shades I have to try today are shimmers. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Melt Cosmetics Muerte palette because I love this one. I haven't played with it in a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with this minty shade right here, which is called Lagrimas. And I'm going to pop that shade right into my crease. I went in with the skin tone shade today, just to make blending a little bit easier and softer. I love these melt shadows, but they're all really pigmented, so I find that whenever I blend them out, it takes a little bit of time, and I don't have that time today, so I'm just doing a little trick to make it easier, but it won't be quite as impactful as it would be if I didn't set it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take this really beautiful deep blue called Noche Eterna, and I'm going to use that on my outer V to add a little bit of depth. I'm just going in with literally the least amount of product I possibly can and blending that out. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of Velorio, which is a very deep red, and I'm going to pop a little bit of that on the lower lash line on the outer third. Alright, so now jumping into these new shades, I'm going to go ahead and start off with this one right here, which is called Chandelier. Looks like such a stunning multi-chrome, so I really want to give it its full moment all over my lid. I'm going to go ahead and start off with my NYX Glitter Primer, and I'm going to go ahead and place that from the front of the lid all the way to the outer V, just to prime the lid and make application that much easier. Using that same brush to pick up the multi-chrome, and I feel like it's not picking up that well if I just swipe, so I'm kind of wiggling it back and forth to get some product up. And I'm just gonna pop that all over the lid. Ooh, that looks so pretty. That looks so different than I expected it to, but actually then again, it looks a lot more purple blue when it's not facing the light. I'm really having to build that shade up with this brush. It might just be the brush. I'm gonna try, actually I have something a little bit more fluffy. Let's see how that picks it up. Oh yeah, so I wouldn't go in with a flat brush with that because it's just really hard to pick up. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit on my finger and just pop it on the lid as well just to see. Yeah, that's definitely the most intense so far. I'm going to take my fluffy brush and just lightly blend the crease right here, and then just a little bit of my outer V brush. I'm going to dip into this shade right here called Russet Red. Ooh, that seems really pigmented. I just picked up the tiniest amount, picked up really well on my pencil brush, and I'm going to pop that on the middle of the lower lash line. Oh yeah, very pigmented red shade. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade right here called Icy. Just picking up a little bit of that and dusting off the excess, and then I'm gonna, oops, get a little bit further down than I meant to. Popping that on my inner third of the lower lash line. I think this shade has the potential to be really, really pretty, but I would probably wet it next time just to make it a little bit more metallic. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade right here called Dynamic Gold, and I'm gonna pop that on my inner corner. So it's definitely coming off as a complete gold. Honestly, the shift is strong. It kind of reminds me of that one shade in the Jackie Aina palette. Okay, so I'm going to quickly finish up the eyes with just some black liner and mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, for highlighter today, I'm going to take my Lunar Beauty Mercury highlight, and I'm just going to grab a little bit on a pretty small brush just so I can control the placement, because you can see it's a very pigmented highlighter. I'm going to go in with the setting spray, which I'm really, really nervous about. Yeah, it's a little aggressive. Just want to hear a funny story about my makeup today while I'm waiting for this to dry? I don't even know what's wrong with me. I don't even know what I was thinking, but I forgot to put under eye concealer on. I did everything else. Oh no. Do you guys see that? You see the sparkles? Look right there. Look how much you can see it. So I can see giant sparkles all over my face. Definitely not going to be using this to set my face again, especially just because I don't like the way it looks. It's really aggressive. Maybe I could see trying to use it in the summer, like on my shoulders or something. I will go try and see if there's some use I can do out of it so it doesn't go to waste. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the lipstick, which is in the shade Butterfly Effect. I don't think I've ever wore a lipstick this color before. Okay, it's pretty sheer. This is pretty sheer, so it kind of just looks a little bit messy. I feel like if you're gonna go for this color, really go for this color. I'm gonna go ahead and top it with the gloss just to see. So this is the Starlight Gloss. Maybe we'll try it over this, and then we'll try it on its own. I feel like the gloss, like as I'm swiping it, it's making the lipstick come off. Okay, so I definitely don't like the lipstick formula. I can say that right off the bat. I'm gonna wipe the applicator off, I'm gonna wipe my lips off, and then we'll try the lip gloss on its own. Alright, let's do this again. So the lip gloss has kind of a bluey purple shift to it, which I don't mind. I feel like this one's a little bit more natural. It kind of has like a mauviness to it combined with my natural lip color. It feels pretty comfortable on the lips. I did have to go in with it 2 times. The applicator doesn't hold that much product. I think that this could be a fun topper if you wanted to add a little bit of that purple blue iridescence to other lippies. So this is the finished look, and I think my favorite part would definitely be the eyes. I really like how the look turned out there. My skin's a little sketchy. The lips feel comfortable, but not my go-to color by any means. I really hope you enjoyed getting to try a new indie brand with me today, and if you have not already subscribed to my channel and you want to see more indie content from me, definitely make sure to subscribe before you go. I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye!